Oops. Hello everybody, Reggie time here, and we are going to get caught up with everything. Oh, we just timed out with Kings. What a nightmare start to a video. We are playing the first No Limit Hold'em session. Cash, I have played in probably 5 weeks. I've been playing some No Limit Hold'em MTTs on Sky. I think that's the only place I've been playing them. And done whatever. But yeah, I just got a bit of a hankering to play some No Limit for a change. I'm not going to beat myself up if I play badly. I'm not going to beat myself up if I lose. I'm not going to beat myself up by straying quite a long way from commonly accepted lines and strands of thought in No Limit Hold'em in 2021. I'm just going to play pretty much on instinct, on feel, on however you want to describe it, and just try and have some fun and make some No Limit Hold'em content for you guys for the first time in ages, for the loyal viewers who've been, in many cases, probably suffering short deck for a little while. See, we're playing on PokerBros because I rarely make content on PokerBros these days, but I'm going to do a few videos this week, I think, on PokerBros. It's a nice place to play. The games are fun. There's a decent mix of ability of players here, as hopefully will be demonstrated throughout the video. And yeah, if any of you guys look at these games and think, oh, you know, I quite like the look of that, I might give that a little go, then give your man Reggie a shout, either on YouTube or on Facebook, and I shall hook you up in some clubs where the games are good fun and not especially taxing. A pretty big key when checked to us with the open ender. Seems like a reasonable enough line. We get a call. I think this guy might have been the original raiser. I'm not sure. In fact, we get 2 calls. So we're going to need to hit. We almost hit, but we don't. Almost doesn't get the biscuits. I'd love to see a free one, guys. It's not a free one, but it's not far off a free one. So you can certainly call this bet, which is what we are going to do. And then we get a rubbish river, and 2 people have stayed all the way till the end, so we are pretty much out of there. And the original raiser, or the guy who I think was the original raiser, finally takes it down. Bye bye to the ace jack. Right, we're effectively on the button here. Just going to overlimp the deuces, guaranteed position. We can call if the blinds raise. We get led into, and we haven't made our set, so we're out. They're going to find me playing relatively passively and probably quite tight, because that is my natural poker style. It's just how I am, and usually when I'm not enjoying poker is when I'm trying to force myself out of my natural style. But I just want to enjoy the session. I obviously want to try and play the best I can without making it where I've forced myself to do things that I think are right but I'm not sure, but also make me feel uncomfortable. So I might be forcing myself to do something that's incorrect in the first place. So I'm just going to, like I said at the start, just rely really much on my relatively well-honed poker instincts for getting a feel for when people might be relatively strong, when they might be being a little bit naughty, and just kind of rely on them. Plus, hopefully, my nitty, generally stronger ranges will get me through as well. Certainly hoping to play several sessions of No Limit late on this week, just to see if I can rekindle my love for it. I'm just going to flat this king 10 up on the button. Don't really want to 3-bet it, but it's not a hand that I want to 3-bet, but it feels too strong just to fold to a cut-off open. I mean, I guess 3-betting is okay, but I don't think it's mandatory. And if we don't want to 3-bet it, folding it feels too tight. I think we're just going to go for a little bit of, well, I'll say protection, because if anyone's got a flush draw, they're going to call. So we're not really protecting that hand, but we're getting some value, I guess, from flush draws there, or charging flush, however you want to describe it. When people say, oh, I'm betting here for protection, you're not protecting your hand. If someone's got a decent draw, you're not protecting it. You're only really protecting it from stuff that's got equity that would fall to a bet. Say, I don't know, if it's someone's in there with like an ace jack without a club or something like that, you're protecting it against those types of hands. But that's all. If anyone ever thinks they're making somebody fold a real hand when they are betting for protection, then they probably need to think again. We just flatted the 5x ISO with the ace queen because we wanted to try and keep the green tag player in. If we 3-bet the ace queen there, which is perfectly reasonable, we typically end up just isolating ourselves against the top of this guy's range, whilst also simultaneously folding this guy out. And you don't want to isolate yourself against the top of a rock's range whilst simultaneously folding out the weaker hands in the loose passive player's range. We can't fold here just yet. I think we can definitely fold turns if poker bets again having been snap called by 2 players. Then it's very likely that our ace queen is not going to be the best hand. Again, we're just going to call the ace queen on the button versus the pot size open from the recreational player under the gun. This has gone bet and all in. Ace queen's no good here at all. Ace 8 and ace 10, okay. Ace queen was good. What do I know? Checking back on this board texture with the ace queen versus 2 recreational players who probably going to be check calling reasonably wide with better hands. Again, just going to check back. I just don't think we're going to get stronger hands to fold. And we maybe still have an inkling of showdown value. C-bets a board that shouldn't really be C-betting too often, but we have all the cards. And this has gone bet call. I mean, ace queen could be the best hand. We're getting a pretty good price, but given it's gone bet and call, I don't know what's going on here. This is the anti-bot feature, which I quite like, to be fair. It might be the occasional pain in the ass, but if it is protecting players against bots, then I am 100% all for it. Something I'd very much like PP Poker to introduce, because I think they have some issues in some clubs with their no limit games. I don't really want to say much more than that. This game looks like it's breaking, which is a shame. Wannabe Pro and Wannabe Pro, so we're not going to be sitting with those guys. No interest in sitting with those guys. I'm going to enjoy my session, not just be the meat in a 2 pro sandwich. So we'll exit, and if that means we just 3-table for the time being, then so be it. We can get ourselves on this waitlist here, which is exactly what we've done. Fingers crossed it will open up to us sooner rather than later. Zero interest in just battling 2 regs. My game's not sharp enough, and we are just trying to have some fun. And battling regs irritates me at the best of times. Never mind when I'm just trying to relax and have some fun and make a nice, chilled, relaxing video without myself getting too fed up and saying, "Ooh, no limit, you're gay, you're shit," you know. Don't want any of that nonsense going on. We want to enjoy ourselves. We flopped a set. Yes, we flopped better. We flopped a full house. We have flopped a full boat. I'm going to check back my full boat and try and induce some bets from Pavel, or maybe let them improve, maybe. I like Pavel leading here. I think I'm going to like raising. He's bet pretty big. He's bet like 3/4 pot. 2/3 pot, like that. I'm going to raise. Expect him not to fold very much at all. Seems like a nice river. Shouldn't really. He doesn't have aces. He doesn't have jacks. I'm going to go with the biggest bet. I don't think he's going to call too often. I think he's just going to like, fold all his Jack X now. Maybe once in a blue moon he's got 9x. And calls. He just called, so we're going to win. Happy days. Possibly, we don't get to find out what he had, but possibly our check on the flop there allowed us to get $25 of value across the turn on the river, which is pretty fucking sweet. In your face, Pavel Nedved. Was he a footballer? Pavel Nedved. I think he was one. He was a blonde-haired Czech footballer from the 90s, maybe the noughties. Or was that Paolo Nedved? Paolo Nedved? Pavel Nedved? Don't know. Answers on the postcard, please. Should probably come off this table and just like wait for it to pop up for us, because then we can continue to keep our eyes on the lobby in case the table we left is filled again. I don't mind sitting and playing with 4 eggs or something just for a bit of fun. I just don't want the dynamic of always being button or in the blinds against 2 regulars who are very likely to be fighting harder for pots than I'd be inclined to. But if it does fill up again a little bit, then we'll be all over it. Doesn't look like it has. Looks like if anything, it's just disappeared. I'm going to keep betting our ace 10, I think, for some value from worse ace X. Called in 2 spots again. I mean, this is just nonsense. I'm treating this as a check. It's just, do I bet here or not? I think I would probably check here, so we're just going to call them in bet and then look to call from this guy. Same hand, so we just chop up Ritten's money that he put in the pot. I think I called there because my intention was to check and then call a bet from the button. So that's why we just called the bet, hoping the button might still try to bluff versus the min bet. Obviously, if we raise versus the 40-cent bet, the button's just going to fold anything he was contemplating bluffing with, and then we only kind of like tie ourselves up against maybe the occasional 2 pair that the small blind sort of like backed into or whatever. I think against the bopper on a king 5-7 board we're kind of obliged to see bet. I'm not that into bluffing against this type of player, but king 5-7 it, you know, it probably shouldn't hit him too hard, and it doesn't hurt too much just to make a small star. But if, you know, we get called, we probably just shut down. Another table that's gone 3-handed. This is disappointing. Are these 2 regulars as well? Sadly they are, so we are out of here again because 0 interest. I'd rather play less tables and just enjoy myself. Let's see if there's any. We've got other clubs we can go on. Like, we don't necessarily have to like just sit in this club and wait. We can fire a 20-nil table in. Oh, we could have done until we didn't quite get there in time. Don't want to drop as low as 10-nil. Let's see what else we've got going on. Got anything in here? Anything in the 40-nil regions with empty seats? 2 players without full stacks. You'll do for me. We like sitting and joining players that don't have full stacks. We go back to this one because this is the club we want to be scanning again, isn't it? For the 40-nil, maybe 20-nil. And I'm back in this club by mistake. There's a 20-0 table. Let's fire a 20-0 in over here as well. That'll do, because I don't really, like I said, I don't really care what limits I'm playing. I just want to play and have some fun. Almost started singing that Shania Twain there song then. And I really do never ever want to sing on video. But the urge is there. And it might not have even been a Shania Twain song. I might have been thinking of the totally wrong artist. We've flopped 3 kings here, and we're going to do something that you're not meant to do, and we're going to check, because it's hard for anyone to have anything, so we're going to try and let them catch up a little, going proper old school. Let them catch up a little bit, and then hopefully get some value. This might have gone pretty well. You know, anyone that's in there with an ace now, pre-flop, isn't going to fold. Certainly going to at least call. Let's get back to it. We do get the call. Just no ace on the river. We like that. We're going to go reasonably big here. We're going to go to 5. Let's see what's happening with the ace jack first. So we're checking that. We're going to go to 5 here and just expect a blue tag to call with most ace x. We might not get to find out if he calls or not. Still there. He's taking his time. He folds. Sadly. So he probably didn't have an ace. But we can no longer join it because we're now full of 20 now, which, as I said earlier, is completely fine. I should have checked what time I was starting recording this video at, because I have no idea how long it's been going for. This set man with the 3s. Sadly, we did not connect. Look at me being super passive, not even thinking about 3-betting, just hitting that call button and playing some post flop, just like the old days. And we got the king jack back through. We didn't really want to get it through. We wanted to be called, but never mind. I don't like 3-betting. I don't like doing it much unless I've got the absolute nuts, and I don't like it happening to me. One of my least favourite things about it is playing 3-bet pots. Don't like it. Not very good at it. I haven't had the inclination to study it for a very, very long time. We are not going to bet the jacks here. Pavel looks like he's either got a trap or a hand like king, 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 queen, etc. We do turn a flush draw, and he does now bet 2/3 pot. Of course, we can't fold, but we probably will fold rivers unimproved. Don't think he bets kings again on the river. Don't think he bets king, queen. Yeah, we just have a fold here. If he's bluffing us, then good for Pavel. I don't think check flop, bet turn, bet rivers a line that's overly used as a bluff. He can certainly have some ace x in his flop checking range if he's any good. He can certainly have some like really strong hands in his flop checking range, like sets, 2 pairs. And we had a pretty crummy bluff catcher, given our hand contains a diamond. So it was a pretty easy fold. Anyway, I've no idea when we started, but it's currently 20-2 in the AM in the UK. I'm going to probably, well, I'm going to play for a while, but probably going to record till 2:15. That's 35 minutes from now, plus whatever it was that we started at. And then, yeah, we'll drop it. And I'm probably, yeah, like I say, there's a good chance I'll make 3 videos all on PokerBros this week, all no limit. So if you want to see it, and you want to see more, get your likes, get your comments, all those things. Because the more I see in terms of positive feedback, the more encouraged I'm going to be to do more of this type of thing. You know what? I'm just going to slam this ace king in here. Just going to slam it in versus the tiny 3-bet. There's already like $5 in the pot. We'll run into the same hand. No blue ones, please. That's good. Chop it up. That's very much a short deck play there. Maybe that's a short deck player coming out in me. I just didn't want a 4-bet to like, I don't know, $9 and then deal with post-flop when we miss. Basically what that was. So, yeah, I just went all in because Ace King's a pretty good hand, and these two guys behind us probably have hands that have good equity against Ace King, given it's just Ace High. Then we can have them for their equity almost all the time, and unless Robbie Rich has exactly aces, then we're not in terrible shape with our Ace King. Jack 7 suited, and this is just a 20-yard table, so be careful when you're looking at the sizes. Rich, thinking, oh, that's not really a call. That was a 4x that we were faced with there. So as you can see, looking around these tables, there's lots of guys who are not playing full stacks, are using unorthodox open sizes. The no-limit games on PokerBros are significantly better than the no-limit games on PP Poker. That is unquestionably correct. I think some of it's to do with that it doesn't have a Windows client, so it's like less attractive to regulars who want to play from their laptops or their computers. You can still download an emulator and play from a computer, but it's not as convenient. Also, you can only play 4 tables. The games play a little bit slower, and you obviously can't have any software running whatsoever. So they're just not as attractive to regulars. So therefore, any game that isn't as attractive to regulars is naturally going to be very softer. If I was playing, like, if I decided at some point, right, I'm just going to play No Limit again as my main game, then PokerBros is absolutely the place I would do it. And if it wasn't for the fact I didn't want to be on a night shift schedule, I probably would have played some more No Limit this year. The only thing that stopped me playing, well, not the only thing, I was getting fed up with No Limit, let's not lie about it, but I was getting fed up with No Limit specifically on the main sites and PP Poker because of how many regulars there are. Yeah, I mean, these games are great. There's no denying that. They're just great. I mean, let's have a look around our tables for less than fully stacked players. Well, it's difficult. This one's difficult to say now because 2 guys are on bust, but we have at least 1 recreational player, probably more. This casual as fucker thinks recreational, yeah. On the second table, we have 1, 2, 3 players with less than 100 big blinds. On the third table, we have 2 players with less than 100 blinds, and on this table we have 2 players with less than 100 big blinds. So the games are definitely very good. Now, if there's such a thing as a good No Limit game, which there absolutely still is, as much as I'm down on No Limit, there are still good games if you want to go out there and find them. You're just not going to find them on the mainstream sites. You're not going to find them in speed poker pools, and in many PP Poker unions, you're not going to find them. It's my job to be honest and try and get you guys into the best games, and I haven't been putting people in PP Poker and No Limit games for a while. People have joined them and they've asked me about them, and I said, you know, they've got quite a few regs in them. Quite a lot of them are bad regs, but, you know, they've still got quite a few regs, and people have chose to join. But, I mean, anyone that follows me on Facebook or on YouTube, they'll be fully aware that I haven't been trying to promote no limit games for a while, and that's mostly because I've been working with PP Poker and not PokerBros, because PokerBros aren't that fond of having their games advertised. And you've got to be very careful in how you describe the games and the nature of them and what's at stake. So you need to be very careful with that. But needless to say, these games are full of the types of players you as a winning poker player would want to play with. And we'll say no more than that. If you do want me to go into more details, I'll be happy to, but it will be in a private chat, not on anywhere, not on any like public spaces. Chop it up. Look at that, no rate taken. Everyone won no money. But nobody lost any money. We'll bump it up to 4x here with the King Queen suited, with someone having posted, join the table and posted. Extra dead money in there to go after. And we just take it down pre, which not really exciting, but it's fine. I think we're gonna have a cheeky little peel with the 5-4 suited on the button. Probably not optimal, probably bad play, but I don't give a shit. I'm here to enjoy myself, not to play terribly and play like a moron and lose my money. But if I just want to do something and I think it's okay, I'm just going to do it, and I'm not going to second guess myself. And we've flopped pretty well. This guy's c-bet big into lots of people. That's my problem here. But we're going to see if we have any fold equity. And if we don't, then we're going to see if we can get there. I mean, if he'd have a bet folding like ace-king here, it's a fine result. If he's got one pair, then... oh, shit, now we're in trouble. Now we are in trouble, because Madison probably has a set. Gonna go out on a limb and say a set of 8s. Let's just hope they're not blocking out. Let's hope we're up against 2 sets. That's the ideal thing here, I think. Up against 2 sets. Set of them pair. We've got diamonds. Go on, you big diamond. Happy, happy days. Well played, Reg. Well fucking played, Reg. Got it in with the absolute, well, not the worst hand. I mean, we were doing better than the Jacks were, weren't we? Even though Jacks were ahead of us, we had more equity than the Jacks. Yeah. In your face, Madison. That was fun. How to play badly and win huge pots. That's what that was a lesson in. I did say there was some fish in these games. I'm pointing at myself here saying this guy might well be one of them these days. Might well be one of them. Basically, I'm using min-raise as a limp substitute. I'd prefer to be just open limping, but I think that's just totally not allowed. So we're just min-raising instead. I've been doing some open limping with quite a lot of success, to be fair, on Skype. I started like using like an open limping strategy in Sky MTTs, not all the time, mostly just from the first two positions, still raising most of the time from cut off and button the small blind, not like open limping under the gun in middle position, and they've been having more deep runs. I think I've cashed at a higher ratio than over an incredibly small and worthless sample size, but just in general. I've been having some deeper runs, been building some bigger stacks. It's been fun, and poker is meant to be fun. But in cash games, I'm not going to open limp. We're going to be just min raising from all positions as a substitute for limping. Basically, the reason I want to just open limp or raise small, and it is fishy as fuck, is because most of the hands, I don't do a lot of stealing. Stealing is not my thing. It's just not really in my playbook that much. Never has been, never will be. Most of the hands I play want to see flops. They want to go post flop. So, you know, by 2.5, 3xing and then someone's making it 8, 9, 10x, etc., just gets too expensive to see flops. Whereas if you're just min raising or even better limping and then someone's making it 4x or 5x over a limp, then you get to see all the flops you want to see. And I genuinely believe that my post-flop play is significantly stronger than my pre-flop play. So why wouldn't I want to try and steer more pots in the direction of getting me post-flop than raising pre-flop and then sometimes pricing me out of the part of the game that I think I'm best at. So that's my fish logic for that. Fold there. We're going to make a huge raise here out of the small blind with 2 kings. I'm going to make it 10x over 3 limps, over 4 limps, 3 limps, sorry. And we just take it down. Maybe that was a bit of overkill. Again, maybe that's a little bit of the short deck coming out in me. Yeah, that's one of the things though, when you do play different games like I do, a little bit of pot limit, home a bit of short deck, etc. I think like you can pick things up from other games, and I'm not saying that was good there raising Kings 10x because it probably wasn't, but you pick things up from other games that you think, oh, I wonder how that would work in this game, and vice versa. So it, I think it allows you to go down some different thought processes than people who will strictly only play one game will ever go down, because different games take you to different places where different strategies work well in different games. And then sometimes you can be like, oh, would that work in this game, or would a version of that work in this game? And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It certainly makes it more interesting. We weren't going to be falling into a squeeze from Pavel there. And when makes my toenails itch getting this on this board, so I'm not going to do it into a fish. Just makes my toenails itch thinking about having a c-bet there with literally just a backdoor straight draw to our name. Again, that is just completely, I mean, that is in almost all circumstances, if you're trying to play like anywhere near a GTO strategy, the Ace XX dry board is just a c-bet, slam dunk c-bet, small all the time. But against this particular opponent, where I think we'll call even when they don't have an ace with a decent frequency, I'm just not going to do it. Hold the king queen to a rocks squeeze. Well done on forcing the fish to fold, you absolute numpty. Probably one of the worst hands I'll open from the cut-off, but it is pretty, isn't it? 6-4 suited. It's a pretty hand. I'm facing the tiny 3-bet, we're absolutely going to see a flop. Sadly, we do not connect in any shape or form, and we are not going to fall for the check, but if he does check twice, then we'll bet twice. And we'll just try and get some high cards to fold. Yeah, now I just think we bet twice, and we don't worry about him. If he's trapping us elaborately, then good for him. Up a gut shot with the 8 and the 4. We'll tear one off, see what happens. I think we're going to check back here, and then if he checks the river, we'll save our bluff for then. Nine, 9, 10, 8 million callers. Easiest check ever. This looks like a block bet to me. It doesn't look like it's the sort of size somebody would choose with a 10. So I'm going to call. And we're probably going to call the river too. 9, 7 and 7, 5 have both got there. Yeah, but as played, I think 90 is going to be one of our best hands here. And it was somebody blocking with an 8. Happy days. Well read, Reggie. I think his bet's a little too thin there on the river, but we're delighted to pick it off. Try and make a pair with our ace-jack against 2 recreational players. We do make a pair. We make the toppest one. There can be no folding our hand, I don't think. Raise for value here. Looks like he's gone all in. The action's back on us very quickly. We've probably painted ourselves into a corner here. Yep, we're in trouble. Any jacks out there? We're in it twice. Sorry, buddy. Don't want to do that. Any jacks? Nope. No jacks. Nice answer. We lose our money either way there. Whether, you know, we just call it off over 3 streets or what have you. Here we have a gut shot in a limped pot. Is it a limped pot? It's 20. No, it's not a limped pot. So we shall check. Yeah, certainly going to have a little stab on the turn if he checks through. It doesn't check through, but we face only a small bet, so we shall see a river. Sadly, the river does not help us, and given the player on the cutoff call 2, then we're going to be done with it. Here, our King Jack suited is completely missed. How passive I'm being passive, and it's more fun. I like just, oh fuck it, give up, Reg, you haven't got anything. Only bet for value, Reg. Maybe bluff on the later streets if we become convinced that our opponents don't have anything. Or don't have anything strong. It's not good poker, but he'll be winning. He'll be winning in these games if we just almost never bluff and only ever really value bet. Not good poker. It doesn't make you think, oh, look at me, I'm fucking great at this game. But it significantly reduces my frustration levels when my bluffs don't work. It saves me money on making badly thought out bluffs. And I don't think it prevents me getting value when I want to get value. Here we are, actually just going to limp. We are a very early position. People to go behind us. Someone's already posted, so the min raise won't really work very well. We do flop a set, which is nice. I'm going to bet pretty big, and we're going to hope to get some calls. But we do not. Never mind. Please feel free to tell me just how fucking badly I'm playing, by the way, because it really won't bother me, and it really won't affect how badly I play going forward either. And I actually don't think I'm playing that badly in relation to the games that I'm in. I'm playing something that's a long way from theoretically sound poker in 2021, but I'm still playing a style that, without question, wins in these games, which is, as someone like myself now who's very much just a recreational player who's just, yeah, good, let's try and make a little bit of money on the side, but too lazy to study it properly. I think it's completely fine. I think that's part of the reason why I fell out with No Limit, because I knew I was falling further and further behind, and I was trying to keep up a little bit with it, but my heart wasn't in it. So now it's going to be, when I want to play No Limit, I'm just going to play No Limit in the style that I want to play it. Trust that it's not going to get me fucking slaughtered, and just enjoy myself. We've had a limp here, and we've had somebody just min raise. And we're going to defend the ace-10. We're going to be check calling with the 6-4. We're folding the 8 deuce. We're going to be probably check folding the ace-10 too. We turn 2 pairs, but it does put us straight on board. So I'm going to just use my hand more as a bluff catcher. Deuce doesn't change anything. Turn a pair with the ace-10. Call with the ace-10. Check again with the 6-4. Fold the ace deuce. Fold the queen 10. Check the ace 10 again. And win. Weak Tight Poker, FTW. Defending the 6-5 suit on the button. Have we 3-bet yet this video? I don't think we've made one 3-bet yet. And I feel all the better for it. And we're going to check back once here and go with the, if he checks the second time, then we'll bet twice. Yep, so now we just bet twice, bet 3, and then bet really big on the river. Put pressure on his like pocket jacks, pocket 10s, pocket 7s, 8x, 9x, etc. Don't think he's going to have too much ace-x that wants to check call that turn. So we're going to go for it again. And hope it works. It doesn't. He did have it. I guess that having exactly that ace-x makes sense. Didn't bet the flop, just check calls the turn with his flush draw. Guess it's one of the only ace he can have is the suited heart variety. Never mind, not the end of the world. Again, we're going to call with the ace 10 because we have 2 fish in the blinds. And I'm much more interested in playing pots with them than isolating myself against a nit. He this time bets 2/3 pot into 3 players, then we're just going to very happily give his line the respect it deserves in that spot. I actually don't think I'm going to carry on playing too much this session today. After finishing recording, in fact, we might just finish the recording and wrap it up because it is 2:10 in the morning, and I don't especially want a late night. And the only reason I started so late tonight was because I was watching Jusenberg's Monday night stream, and he made the final table of the Mega Stack, which we almost made the final table up, but just came up short. And then I was watching him play the mid-X, so I didn't start this session till long on 1 o'clock. Tomorrow night I'll probably start when my wife goes to bed around 11:30ish. Then I can put a nice 3-hour session in. Which I will record, but obviously I won't be recording 3 hours worth because nobody wants to watch me play 3 hours of no limit. But I think what we will do is we shall stand up next blind every table and we'll quickly check our tallies. It feels like we've probably broke about even because we won that one massive pot. Maybe we no, in fact we haven't broke even, we've made money because we won that 150 big blind pot, or whatever it was, 250 big blind pot, didn't we, with the flush. Given some back since then, we're a little bit lost a bit. Yeah, maybe we've made $30. I know what my starting tallies were in both the clubs, so I'm able to work it out. I think it was in Palm Beach we had exactly 500, and in Homeland we started with 581, I believe. So we'll be able to get a pretty accurate tally on how we've done. now we only have one table left. We'll see the next hand. Then we'll leave, I think, even though we're going to be like giving up one free hand of poker. Don't particularly want to sit and wait through an entire length of a hand we're not involved in just to play one last hand. When we're recording, that's another bad reg thing that we're doing. We're not seeing all our free hands that we paid for by posting our blinds. Bad reg. Bad, weak, tight, regular. Play some no limit hold'em. Interesting sizing on the turn here, even casual as fuck. £1, $1.20 into 12. And calls it off anyway, which he has to do with his 10 of hearts. I'm not really sure what KCMA was doing there with his raise. On the monotone board. We waited for 6-4 off, which was about as much use as a chocolate teapot to us. So let's have a look. In this club we were on 5-8-1 when we started, 6-1-8, so that is a profit of $37. And in this one we made a loss of 6. So yeah, $30 as we expect, $30 session. So happy with that. Happy we managed to finally get a no limit video out for the first time in ages. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Going to be at least 2 more coming. No short deck at all this week on YouTube or Facebook. It's all about the no limit. I'm going to play some short deck during the day because I enjoy it a lot. But the video content this week is going to be all no limit. So keep your eyes open for that. And please do get in touch if you'd like to get involved in the games that you see. Take care everybody, and bye bye for now.